Hey everybody, today I'm talking about the Quacks of Quedlinburg, which is a push your luck style game with a bit of a difference to it by a designer that I've really been interested by recently, Wolfgang Warsch. He makes very interesting games that are very different to games that have previously been released. I liked his roll and write games, that's pretty clever and twice as clever. Wavelength, Illusion, The Mind, he's made lots of games that are very different in feel to anything else. Now this one is a push your luck style game, as I said. Plays up to 4 players, takes probably about 45 minutes to play. It received a lot of buzz in 2018 and I think it was nominated for the Spiel. And this is probably his most successful game to date. Definitely probably the one that's received the most buzz. I had a chance to play it at my local games club this week and here are my thoughts. So, I do generally like push your luck games. It's something that I think are just completely visceral in terms of its enjoyment. When do you stop? When do you carry on? But this one is not only has that feel to it, you've also got this almost engine building feel to it as well, because you are actually bag building by putting these different tokens into this bag and then drawing them out one by one, trying not to go bust, trying to get as far as you can on this track. The theme is that we are basically these doctors in this fantastical medieval world, conjuring these different potions, and you're collecting these different resources or these different ingredients and putting them into your bag, trying to get different synergies and different combos and stuff to try and get as far as you can around this track to get as many points as you can, but also to try and get as many kind of investment points as you can in order to buy new things to put into your bag. And that's where this game really does step almost like a step above than your average push your luck game, because push your luck games are normally very simple. When do you stop, when do you continue, and cut your losses. Whereas this one, that engine building aspect to it does give you a bit more of a kind of sense of ownership of your own bag. You are choosing which ingredients to put in, and those ingredients are all very interesting. They're all so different to one another, and they're all very lucrative. Of course, they all have different costs. The more powerful they are. They have different numbers on them, which determines how far you're going to go around the track. But as I said, they do combo well with each other and stuff like that as well. So some of them, for example, if you have like pumpkins, they're just very simple. They just take you around the track. But then if you have a mushroom, then they get boosted by the previous pumpkins on the track. You've got the black ones, which depends on what bonuses you get compared to your neighbours. Or you've got ones where, the more you draw out of them, the better you get. You've got the yellow ones, which eliminate the negative tokens, which you don't want, because the mechanism that busts you from the game is drawing the white tokens. And as soon as you go to above 7 white tokens on the board, then you bust, and you can only take one of the rewards from your potion. So normally you'd get the rewards not only for victory points, but you'd get your investment points as well. Whereas if you go bust, you can only get one or the other, which I think is really nice because it's not so punishing, and you can still really get something out of your turn. I like the way that the game does also kind of encourage you to go further and further and push your luck, which is what you really want, because not only are certain spots on the board give you rubies, which are important, which I'll explain in a second, but also you get an additional kind of roll of the dice if you go the furthest out of all the players that turn, which can get you more points or can get you more rubies and different stuff like that. So yeah, it's really nice the fact that you're encouraged to go as far as you can. You kind of have a bit more of autonomy of what's going in your bag and what synergizes with each other. Rubies are important because you can cash them in 2 at a time, and either to move your starting place up, so you're kind of starting on the upper foot, or you can cash them in to flip your, I don't know what it's called, you get this kind of marker which lets you, if you draw a white token, you can flip the marker and put the white marker back in the bag. So you can kind of go again and go from there. So yeah, there's lots of different decisions in the game, which is much more than your average push your luck game. As I said, the ownership of your bag really does come through, and the uptime of the game is excellent because everybody's doing things at the same time. And it's just a lot going on. It's a very engaging game. In terms of this decisions, obviously you've got the what are you going to invest in? If you go bust, are you going to take the points? Are you going to, what are you going to take more ingredients? When are you going to stop in your turn? Do you want to push just a little bit more and not just roll that dice? Do you want to stop on the ruby spaces? There are events as well that come out which can completely change your decisions as well, because it might say, if you stop on a ruby this turn, you get an extra ruby. or stuff like that. So again, different incentives at all times in order to go as far as you possibly can, which is what you want. Balance of the game, again, is a push your luck game, so obviously there is a lot of luck that goes into the game, but again, you've got a bit of control about which things you're putting into your bag, and you know what's in there, and so yeah, you've got a bit more decision-wise on what you're gonna put in and what's going to combo with another thing. Of course, you can get completely shattered by just drawing out all your white tokens, but at the same time, you could say, why didn't you invest in more yellow tokens? Why didn't you invest in your token that you flip over and put the white tokens back? So again, you've got a bit more of mitigation there and a bit more control than maybe your average push your luck game. Time investment, I think it's, I'm not sure if it was 8 or 10 rounds, and they do fly by relatively quickly because, as I said, it's a game that everybody's playing at the same time, and once everybody's kind of stopped or gone bust, then you do go through this kind of motion of different things you want to hit, or different scoring phases before you get going again. But again, that's still a really good part of the game, and it doesn't feel like downtime because not only is the part when you're drawing the tokens out the bag fun, you actually do look forward to the next part as well, because it's really fun investing in those different ingredients to put into your bag. So yeah, so there's not really a lot of downtime here, and the different phases of the game are equally enjoyable. Replayability wise is actually really good because all the different ingredients, you can kind of flip the tiles over, which represent what they do to different rules basically, which means they act in different ways, which is quite nice. Obviously, you can try different strategies by focusing on different different ingredient types and stuff like that. So yeah, replayability wise, it's quite good. Interaction wise, you're always trying to egg each other on, trying to make each other go bust. Trying to go as far as you can and beat your opponents, which is nice. It also has this really cool catch-up mechanism where the person who is furthest along on the score track doesn't get any bonuses, but anybody behind him can kind of move up their starting position on the potion board, depending on how far they are behind, based on these different rat tails. A really nice catch-up mechanism there, and I do really quite applaud that. Component quality, absolutely fine, and the artwork is quite nice as well. It just has that kind of comical fantasy style art, which I do really like. And the theme of the game works really well too, because again, chucking all the different ingredients into the bag, drawing them out one at a time is quite nice. The boards are nice and clear. You know how much victory points you're getting. You know how much investment points you're getting. All the different ingredients are quite clear as well. I mean, I'm colorblind and find things quite difficult to differentiate sometimes, but this one I didn't have a big issue with. And the setup and teardown time is not too bad at all. So overall, I did really enjoy this game. I thought it was so much fun. I really would recommend this to all kind of family gamers. I mean, there's got enough going on in it to entertain gamers, proper gamers. But at the same time, it does have that really whimsical, fun, engaging feel to it that will definitely engage families, and everybody I think is going to have a lot of fun out of this one. This is one that I really wouldn't hesitate to recommend to anybody. A lot of the games I like, I really like. I can see why I'd like them, but again, I'd understand why other people wouldn't like them. But whereas this one, I really can't see anybody who wouldn't enjoy it. And I've actually never heard anybody say a bad word about this one, because it is a lot of fun. And I think if you don't have fun out of it, I think you're missing something, because it is a really good time. And the decisions are good. Obviously, again, the luck aspect is going to be something that can really shoot you in the foot. But that's what the game's all about. It's a push your luck game. And you've got to kind of roll with the punches. Sometimes it's going to go your way, sometimes it isn't. But I think the game really compensates for that with giving you the choice over what you're going to put into your bag, and giving you the choice over when you, what you're going to invest in, and the catch-up mechanism as well is really nice. So yeah, overall, I can certainly see why this one has received the praise and success it has. I had a great time with this one, and I would recommend it to anybody. A really good push your luck games, and definitely one of the top tier push your luck games I've played. And I might even pick this one up myself, and I would certainly look forward to playing it again and trying out all the different strategies and approaches you can take. So yeah, that's Quacks of Quedlinburg, a fantastic game, and it gets a very good rating from me. Obviously it's hindered in terms of its strategy and stuff because of the luck aspect to it, but again, that's part of the appeal of the game. So yeah, if you have enjoyed this review, please hit like and subscribe to my channel, and check out my other videos too. For everyone else, I'll see you next time on Chairman of the Board. Bye.